Good evening and welcome to LUTV's coverage. Leeds United's 21s are in action this evening for the first time in the Premier League International Cup as they face Sporting at home at the LNR Community Stadium in York. It's another big occasion for the club as they enter the competition for the second time. They were last in it in the 23-24 season when they played the likes of PSV Eindhoven, Hertha Berlin, Sparta Prague and Nice. This year's group has not been any kinder. Some mouth-watering ties against Sporting, Athletic Bilbao, Borussia Dortmund and Anderlecht to come this season. And myself, Tom Hill and Ben Parker will hopefully bring you all the action throughout the campaign. And what is no doubt set to be a learning campaign for them in terms of the quality operators that Europe will bring. Leeds will look to try and match them as best they possibly can. So in terms of the teams, there's one change for Leeds United from Monday's defeat to Crystal Palace, and that sees Harry Gray return to the fold in place of Devon Brockie. It's Rory Mahady, Louis Dudley, Jayden Lienou, Oliver Pickles, Ruben Lopata-White, Johnny Howson, Harvey Vincent, Connor Douglas, Gray, Reece Chadwick and Josh McDonald. Scott Gardner's benches, Darrell Ombang, Devon Brockie, Lewis Pirie, William Firth, Logan White, Louis Whitehead and Jacob Render. As for Sporting, they go with Guilherme Pires, Raihan Momade, Daniel Ciesielski, Miguel Alves, Afonso Lee, Zaid Bafdili, Chris Grombahi, Rafael Camacho, Diego Martins, Guilherme Santos and Michael Sanha. And then the bench for João Santos' side is Clara, Pala Marchuk, Estrella Gamboa, Nascimento, Peixoto and Nikitenko. So we have, of course, with it being a European tie, we have no doubt a kick-off and a photo to come. And congratulations to Oliver Pickles that got a bit of good news in the week with a contract. He captains the side tonight, so congratulations to him and his family for what I'm sure Ben Parker's been a great few days. But there's no time for sentimental things for him because he's got a job to do in the middle of midfield.
Yeah, a big job. Off the back of that as well, good evening to you, Tom. Good evening to everyone tuning in for what's going to be a challenging game, a challenging team that's going to come up against in terms of more technical ability. And again, we always try and find different ways to present different types of challenges for these young boys, whether it's the National League Cup against more senior opposition or teams on the continent. And with Sporting, you expect them to try and dominate the ball, get the ball wide in forward areas as well, try and push Leeds back. But for ourselves, it was a really promising performance. We didn't get the result we wanted the other night in PL2 action, but you can take the positives into tonight that we did so well in terms of sticking in the game, taking chances when they come, and hopefully we can get a bit more reward tonight.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It is a game that Leeds United can try and wrestle away from Sporting for as long as they can. This is a team that play in second tier of Portuguese football, of course, can't get promoted due to their first team standing, but such a big club in the Primeira Liga. And no wonder Leeds will be itching to try and test themselves against them, see what they've got. But we had a campaign last time when Leeds' academy team was a bit more senior. I say that because so many youngsters in this group. In a few years' time, they will be able to remember this occasion, Ben. And no matter what the scoreline is tonight, it's one of those games where people might note down the academy team that Sporting played, look at the team that Leeds played in a few years, because you don't often get these games. Maybe 6-7 years down the line, who knows what level these lot are playing at and what we could reference back to this game.
Yeah, of course. And I think in terms of keep mentioning the challenges, good point you made in terms of what division this team do play in a competitive league, very similar model to the one that gets adopted in La Liga, where the younger teams, especially your likes of your Barcelona's, Real Madrid's, play in the second tier. Obviously can't get promoted, but in terms of the challenge, what we're going to come up against, technical ability, but from the speed of play, can we work on the good things we have probably in training, go take it to action.
It's just a slight delay. Referee told the players to get warm back up and a bit more blood into the legs, and now we're ready to go with Howson in possession, Mahady at the back. So he's just trying to tell people to calm down. And of course, as we often reference in the modern day, it is easy to get better footage of opposition. Not that I'm saying during Ben's day, it was still pen and paper to get notes on how good Ben was as a youngster. But they'll know all about Leeds' strengths and weaknesses. Leeds will have been able to get the footage as well, of course, of Sporting. Whether or not it's a chess match to start with, we will soon find out, but early signs are that they want to press Rory Mahady. Most academies know what he wants to do on the ball, as Vincent tries to poke it inside to Lopata-White. So the first error in possession is Leeds United's. And unlike other clubs, they will show a bit different in terms of tactical knowledge and awareness. Not all teams around the continent play in the same style. Naturally, though, you'd expect them to be quite technically good, pacey, creative. Same can be said about our team as well, though, Ben.
Yes, certainly, especially attacking areas, and the man in form, the player who's been finding back of the net on a regular basis, Harry Gray, back in the team tonight, giving that front line a massive boost, of course. But we've got to be careful playing out from the back. Manchester Sporting putting a high press on, which we expect them to do. We've just got to be careful. The pitch does look in a great condition. For the home of York City, they only played 48 hours ago, but the grass just looks a bit long. So it's important we just get the tempo of the passing, the weight of the pass correct.
Yeah, John Howson clears the ball away. Sporting were last in action against Portimonense. They won 2-1 last time out at youth level. As for Leeds, they were beaten in stoppage time against Crystal Palace, as Sporting felt they should have got a free kick there for what they believe is a foul on Guilherme Santos, not to be. Here is Mahady now with Lopata-White. Howson again goes further wide, and this time it's to McDonald. Scoots pass over the top, it's to Gray. It's pinpoint as well. Gray looking for a helping hand here or there, and Scott Garner's words of encouragement try to tell Leeds to push forward. The pass aimed for Vincent, couldn't find him, but he will pick up the pieces anyway. Although from one edge of Sporting's box to Leeds' own half in a couple of touches is far from ideal. Howson to Lienou, looking inside to McDonald. The idea was right, it was just a fraction off where they needed it. And in possession now for Sporting is Alfonso Lee. And a word of caution from the number 6, Bafdili, in midfield, telling his team they didn't need to rush things. Here now with Santos. A lot of movement, Ben, around the midfield. You've got the number of 10 at right back pretty much there. So something for Leeds to monitor, and that is where you will start to fill each other out early doors. I mean, the number 6 that's just been fouled was at left back earlier, so it just shows the fluidity to this team.
Yeah, it does. But that's all even more important in terms of the shape. I thought we kept the shape reasonably well on Monday evening against a strong Crystal Palace outfit. We're going to have to do the same again, if not even better. Not allow those gaps to form.
Sporting wanted a free kick. It was Lopata-White nearest to it. It's adjudged to have made a foul, but nothing given. Now Louis Dudley's got work to do, and he does it excellently towards Mahady, who needs to be quick here. Those flashbacks of a own goal that Leeds scored last season when the ball trickled along the goal line in similar circumstances. Forward ball, and Mahady lets it go for a goal kick. Is there anything, Ben, nearly 5 minutes in, that you've noticed or you're surprised by, or is it exactly what you expected?
Yeah, exactly what I expected in terms of Sporting trying to press when we're in possession. As we mentioned at the very start of the game, we've just got to be careful in terms of getting the tempo, the passing right, playing the right areas as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with going a bit longer sometimes. We know Harry Gray likes to run into the channels. He will stretch defenders, sometimes utilise that.
Ball squeezed through that time by Ciesielski. Leeds win it back, and McDonald drags it under the studs to give himself a bit more breathing space. Gray in a wrestling match with Ciesielski. And now he gets bundled to the floor by Grombahi, and that's the sort of work you do get from Harry Gray. It's just a natural number 9. I thought Devon Brockie actually showed flashes of what he could do, Ben, with a couple of good runs, and he didn't get a lot of service on Monday night, the youngster. But we've seen him play midfield, out wide. He's almost, you can tell straight off the naked eye when a natural striker gets up front, and Harry Gray is that personified.
Yeah, of course, and we all know his qualities, but the team qualities deal with it, but it's a good situation developing now.
Yeah, Chadwick out to Lienou. Possession back into Chadwick, who was sent off on Monday night for a second yellow card in about 10 seconds. Leeds lose possession and they're encouraged to sprint back. Johnny Howson runs all the way across the touchline there to get to the ball and just keep Sporting penned in, but there's certainly nothing to worry Leeds at the moment in after this first 6.5 minutes. Here's Lienou. Lopata-White pinged it into the feet of Douglas, who was met by the challenge of Bafdili. Another big test for Conor Douglas tonight. Not natural to him, play as a central midfielder number 8, but here he is in possession now. He's a good runner of the ball. Now he plays it wide to Vincent. The direct ball into the box, asking for a touch. It gets one. Sadly for Leeds, not goal-bound. Clawing it back across. Desperate looking for Gray. Anyone in Leeds colours that could fire it home. It just sailed past. I think it was Chadwick that met it. Gray had gone to reach it and therefore wasn't there for the cutback. But whisper it quietly, having Vincent's having a cracking week.
Yeah, in a way, the cross was probably too good, even if that is a thing. Too good for defenders, couldn't defend it. On the flip side, there's a cross aimers that goes into the Sporting goalkeeper's hands. So the cross probably just evaded our players as well. Did ever so well to keep the ball alive. Bit of panic from the Sporting defenders. But it's been a bright start from Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds just break down in communication, and Bafdili just steps away from everyone in the nearby companies. It's Vincent working it out towards the right, and he gets it back from Mahady to scoop the ball away. Here is Douglas inside to Chadwick. Now Pickles and Lienou. Leeds are really moving the ball well tonight. So he goes even further across the pitch. Dudley's making out ambitious run. Would have been quite an attacking move for Leeds to play it down the line there, Ben.
Oh, I think it was in. Really was. Sporting were got cold, switching off a little bit from their left back position. Got plenty of space for Dudley. We know his pace. Just put him in. But we're taking up some good positions, especially McDonald on the left-hand side. It's not staying high and wide. It's drifting in field and causing problems for that Sporting system. They don't know whether to a midfield player to pick him up, which they're doing now. Some occasions, the full-back or centre-half been trying to go in with him, get caught in between two minds and creating space for other players then.
Yeah, here's Mahady. Under no pressure, so he takes his time. Howson to Lienou. Risky pass from McDonald. Pickles and then does the splits as he loses his footing. If ever that was a winger's challenge in centre midfield, Conor Douglas showcases it. Old school and old-fashioned smash it against the legs, and luckily the ricochet went Leeds' way. Here now is Lopata-White to Dudley. Little drop of the shoulder from Lopata-White. He wins a free kick. That was skipper Santos bundling him to the ground. Are you a bit surprised, Ben? I mean, I know Leeds are at home. We know all about the quality of this team. We'd be here all week if we were talking about the praise for them. But Sporting as an away academy, maybe wants to try and set the tempo a little bit. It really has been Leeds trying to dictate. That's not to say it's going to last, but 10.5 minutes in, I'm quite impressed.
Yeah, I think Sporting have been surprised in terms of its output. The tempo of us closing down. There's been so many high energy, high intensity sprints off the ball. And you've got to do that every game, of course, but yeah, sometimes probably what Sporting come up against in their division, a lot of possession-based football. Not really used to these English conditions, but this is just a glimpse of the quality now.
Yeah, Lienou to McDonald. That ball looked to have hit the hand of a Sporting defender, but referee said it didn't hit the hand of Ciesielski, who now has possession and just rolls it across the defence to Alves. Here now is Sanha. Good work from Dudley. Intercepted high up the pitch, now driving forward. A few calls that Sporting are not happy about, feel that they should be going in their favour. Time is now for Leeds if they want to punish them while the iron is hot. Just for a second, Sporting try to increase the tempo then in the press, but Lienou's passed the house and just shut that down. Pickles saw the pass, now advantage played. Here is Bafdili. Further wide it goes, tries to work the 1-2, does so, although quite awkward with Grombahi. Here's Santos in possession. Plenty of space for him. Leeds' closest marker is Chadwick. I'll make that Douglas. The two central midfielders move up as a group, but for now everything looks under control. Risky from Dudley. Just about gets there. Not sure what possessed him to make the hardest run of all in terms of the angle. Mahady's pass is even more risky in towards Chadwick, but it gets there. And from Leeds nearly conceding a goal, they're now on the front foot. Here's Vincent. Inside run from Douglas, ignored by Vincent. Chadwick picks it up. We can go back now to Ben to discuss how scared he was when Louis Dudley ran into a Sporting defender and how well he did actually to recover.
Yeah, textbook rule 101 of not what to do as a full-back in possession, and that was it. Run with the ball inside your own box towards your own goal. Nearly gave it away. Thankfully his strength got him out of the trouble, but I was just thinking it's been a bit of an arm wrestle, almost like a chess battle, hasn't it? Thinking it's going to take a moment of quality to unlock both defenders or a mistake.
Yeah, good ball. Lienou, good touch. Nearly falls to Gray. It's poked wide by Ciesielski. And it's a corner to Leeds, who moved that ball really nicely there. Got the just rewards of a set piece.
Yeah, good option starting to see patterns of play where I mentioned the wide players drifting in field, allowing the fullbacks to get forward.
Short corner, Chadwick. Keeper comes racing off his line in decent enough hands at first, just patting it down away from Gray and away from Lopata-White, which in turn shows that Leeds can be wary of him from a set piece. Clearly very happy to rush off his line and counter-attack any moves. Been a switching of the full-backs for those old-fashioned fans amongst us. Number 2 at left-back's giving me a bit of a weird feeling. Here he is now. And that is Ryan Momade.
And for those listeners who are tuning in, Tom Hill does have a thing about numbers being played in the correct positions.
It should be a thing. As Sporting come forward. Number 7 in possession is Grombahi, who manages to take it forward, but only doing so gives it back to Leeds, which is just what the doctor ordered there. Just had a word with the referee there as Grombahi. Had his ball wide, picked out McDonald and then Chadwick. Gray will try and wrestle it away from Sporting man and did so, but it's good work from Sporting. Probably the best moment they've produced the entire match. The close control, the counter-attacking speed. They've still got it now. Only 2 for company in the area, but there was lack of numbers. As Ryan Momade is not a right back or a left back, he's a centre forward. But it just showed the blistering space and the quality there, Ben. It's taken them 18 minutes to show us it. Not to say that Leeds haven't done it on their own, but sometimes you need that little warning sign where Leeds players, if they were any thought of them resting on the laurels, they can sit and go, right, actually, they can move this ball quick. We've got to be bang on it every single minute.
Yeah, of course. And as I said at the top of the piece tonight, that we knew it was going to be a difficult game on paper coming into this tonight, but I think the home team can be relatively pleased in terms of first 18.5 minutes played. You know, the fans in attendance are appreciating, especially the effort that the young Leeds team are putting into tonight. But it's a great point that you make. As much of the good work they've done so far to this point, they're going to have to do it minute after minute, because as soon as you switch off against a Sporting outfit, that's when they'll come into their own and they will punish you with their quality.
Free kick for Leeds. Gray just wipes the mouth. Hopefully just a impact challenge. And referee wants a word at least with Sporting defender Miguel Alves. Often feel in those situations, Ben, and whether you did it as a player, if you left one in late on a forward, did you expect retaliation? Do wonder if Harry Gray might try and put his body around a bit more vigorously around Alves now.
Yeah, the dark arts of being a defender, knowing what you can get away with
and who against.
Yeah, exactly. And I think contact off the ball, I'm sure Harry Gray would do the exact same. So yeah, it's going to be a good battle. And I think more often than not, we can get the ball into Harry Gray's feet, the better. It's good to see we're trying to get runners in behind young Harry Gray, just not leaving him isolated up there.
A bit of a cynical sort of foul from Douglas on Bafdili. It's one of those where you won't get too many of them before you're in the book. Santos. Dudley. I think there was a touch of the ball and the man at the same time there. And that's why there's a bit more frustration from Leeds' part, because they know with the player down and the ball won, there was an opportunity to attack, It's perhaps the first 50-50 the referee has given Sporting's way.
But these are just the little elements which trying to press there with Vincent, but good play by Sporting. Creating overload here, Tom.
Yeah, they've got away, and now they're in space with Sanha, and he gets in a driving run. Lienou's clearance nearly worked out as a pass. Picked up by Alves. Chadwick is a whisker away from keeping it. Bafdili. Here is Santos. Deadly through ball. Good finish. Sporting's class is shown there. And the furthest player forward was Ryan Momade, who slots it into the corner. The through ball was inch perfect. The finish was just as good. Leeds 0, Sporting 1.
Yeah, you just felt the last couple of minutes in terms of those fine margins and small percentages were going in Sporting's favour. We were nearly just winning the ball high up the pitch, nearly making passes stick to feet. Those nearlies, the fine margins where a good team like Sporting will take advantage, find a bit of space outside the box, time the run perfectly, well weighted pass, clinical finish into the bottom corner.
Yeah, reality check for the game. Leeds have put some good stuff together. Such is the quality of tonight's visitors. Their first sight of goal properly is a decisive one. Good work from Chadwick. He's somehow actually kept it in. Into McDonald. McDonald goes to ground. Chadwick still wrestling. Referee never really at one point came close to putting the whistle to the mouth. He wanted to let that game go, and he was very close to it. Real rarity, Ben. I mean, the Sporting players down. Fingers crossed that's just a knock. But a rarity now in the modern day where you can see a scramble. You're just waiting for the whistle to go, but nothing came. It's good to see.
Yeah, it was. It was a bit of a bizarre passage of play, but just goes to show this young team they do respond well to setbacks. I think we saw it on Monday night without coming away with anything to show for that. So, not ideal going a goal down, we know that. But we know these players can bounce back.
Yeah, to the far post, Vincent lurking. A lot of calls to the referee here. He's might have put a lid on things with a few players frustrated and protesting, but that ball went all the way out for a throw-in on the far side. Great wrestling with Alves. Alves gets it clear. That last touch off Vincent, so it'll be another Sporting throw. Good touch from Douglas, but sadly Leeds can't win it back, so the pressurising. He's now on the back foot. Then a mistake from Sporting in possession is very welcomed as Dudley collects the ball. Gray's pulled away from the attack, and the referee will go straight to the book, and there's no second thoughts. Alfonso Lee is carded. He's disappointed. I mean, but he took Leeds' centre forward out of the game when he was trying to attack. I mean, I'm biased, but you can't do that.
Can't do that. I think it's a pretty simple yellow card. In truth, you know, at the pace of Harry Gray had got away from the centre half. Then it's a cynical foul. I don't know why he's complaining too much.
Howson. Lopata-White went early. Pinpoint to Vincent. Just couldn't get it under control. Takes it away from himself. And now Sporting can attack. And the biggest issue was at one point Dudley and Vincent were out of position. Sporting eventually bail on that idea. But Leeds' right side of attack is delighted with their motion to go backwards. Goal scorer Momade taking the throw in. Leeds win it back in a good area. Here's Gray. Shows a bit too much of it to the midfielder, but in doing so wins his team a free kick. That was Rafael Camacho conceding it.
It seems quite strange about to say Harry Gray showing his experience for someone of his age, but he's bought two free kicks tonight just by feeling a bit of contact. And that's that experience by even playing for the England youth setup. You play off the countries all around the world, you learn little things. He's been buying those free kicks just to help his team out tonight.
Here's Gray. Into Lienou, who's got work to do here. Wins his team a throw, doesn't know he's unlucky. And that, his reaction tells you he didn't feel that call is correct. Dudley's done really well. Wins it so high up the pitch. Only Vincent in support. He might have to go alone. He will. Fashes it past the post, but there to be hit. Once the striker had pulled wide, Ben, you've got to go from there. And fair enough, he didn't hit the target, but for all of his hard work, it was him that deserved the effort.
Yeah, it was, but it was started by good aggressive defending on the front foot. Injury, right, you're always taking that shot, edge of the D. Unfortunately, dragged it wide, but that's what you want to see more of. Big positive, defending, attacking, a combination of both.
Howson, Dudley combined to win it back. Dudley was going to say has lost his old Nokia 3310. It was that small. It's a shin pad apparently. I'm not sponsored by Nokia, by the way, but they probably would be more robust than what he has just put in his shin. Sock, should I say.
Other mobile phones are available on the other different networks, and you're just showing your age. So what's your snake eye score?
Oh dear. I am showing my age. I'm moaning about numbers and shin pads. I had a shin pad rant last year. I need to stop. Sporting in possession, it's a free kick. And
Oh, it's fantastic.
31.5 minutes gone. If you just joined us here on LUTV, 22 gone. And Momade's goal is the difference as we sit at 31.5 minutes into proceedings. Sharp ball forward. Well matched by Howson. He gets a nudge to the floor. He's a glaring look at the referee. And Diogo Martins is the man that is punished. I think the referee just tried to get that to be stamped out of the game. I don't know how much research Mr. Martins has done on Johnny Howson, but he might be getting a tackle later in the game. That's a bit of an even one, just to let him just get that experience and show him who's boss. Chadwick tries to poke it to Gray. It's picked up by McDonald in midfield. Here's Vincent, work to do for him now. On his stronger right foot, fires it to goal, blocked instantly by Afonso Lee, the only man on a yellow card tonight. But do you think Scott Garner's will be quite pleased, Ben? And Leeds are working some good opportunities. The football is still strong. It's a moment of quality that's brought the deadlock only.
Yeah, he'll be pleased in terms of the reaction and response. Again, just to reiterate the point, we've seen this young team just not let the heads drop at all over the course, especially the last few weeks when they have gone a goal down, sometimes two, like on Monday evening. We still stay positive, still try to stick to our game plan, still getting in the faces of the opposition.
Howson's caught for the second time. That was a bit more vigorous. And clearly Diogo Martins hasn't learnt his lesson, because that was a bit of a follow through. I think it's more of a fall on top of him, but it was a bit more cynical on the foot, a bit more powerful. The challenge itself is a yellow, but then he falls on him, which is just going to anger Howson even further.
Yeah, I don't think it is the initial challenge, you're right. It is the follow kind of through his momentum landing on Johnny Howson. He's just pointing out, yeah, it's the calf you've caught me, kicked out. So, a couple of players now for sporting on a yellow card, and it's just something to watch out for.
Yeah, they've come with some passion in their bellies, these sporting players. Here's Howson. Into Douglas, who's shaping to go to Lienou, and now he does. Howson collects possession. Only Lopata-White further wide of him, so he decides instead to go to his centre-back partner. Pickles to Lienou. Leeds again got a spring in their step. There's confidence about the way they're playing, but for all this good possession and the passing being sharp, it's sporting with everyone behind the ball, keeping them at bay. Chadwick to Vincent. Dudley was up there in support, so he might need to make his way back to right back if Leeds lose the ball. Howson steps up. Effortless from the Leeds coach. Lienou to McDonald. With Howson far up, Leeds need to get some bodies back here. Lienou floats the ball to the far post. Chadwick stays on side. Back into Dudley. They'll settle for the corner. Took a few risks there, Ben, because we had, you're looking at right back and centre half and left back are practically on the edge of Sporting's box. If that ball is lost, I know Leeds have dropped a few midfielders, but it was heart in mouth moment, but they got something from that extra aggression.
Yeah, it's about being brave, of course it is, and they were now with the ball high up, trying to get it into the box.
Yeah, taking it short. It'll be a struggle now to get it into the box, but Howson works it wide to Chadwick. McDonald will get a glance at the area. It's a floater. Keeper comes out, punches it. It'll fall out to Lienou. First touch doesn't allow him to shoot. Here's Douglas. It's just a whisker too far away from his boot, and now Sporting can attack. Howson steps up and stops that in an instant. Leeds are just turning the screw up a little bit here. Howson's rolling back the years, flicks it to McDonald. Oh, he just was a bit flat-footed, Josh McDonald. I think he thought that Chadwick was going to get it. The free kick goes Sporting's way. I mean, we're talking like a millisecond there. If McDonald doesn't think another teammate's getting to it, Ben, he's a bit quicker, and he probably does himself.
Yeah, he does, and yeah, of course, it's great work by Johnny Howson, and that's just where he's expecting the younger players to be on that wavelength, just to step in to the right option, the right pass. Unfortunately, McDonald just a bit, flat forward, probably not expecting the ball and the weight of the pass from Johnny to be so spot on. But yeah, and again, another good sign for Leeds United's under-21s that they're clawing their way back into this game.
Strong challenge from Lopata-White. Sporting's players protesting. It's a very aggressive one. Clearly haven't watched their number 9 put a challenge in. Here's McDonald. Out to Lienou. It's to Chadwick. Turns, edge of the box, there's an option. It was to Pickles, a tad behind him. Queuing up to Douglas. He takes it out of his feet. It's a bit of a half swing, really. And the referee's given a free kick, I think, for a foul from Gray. And it's fair to say these Sporting players have got a lot to say.
Yeah, they have. But it's just important for our players. Yeah, be physical. Yeah, if Sporting dishing out some challenges, give them back, of course, but just don't get him embedded down and bogged down in terms of all that kind of pettiness off the ball. Concentrate on your game.
Offside flag goes up against Sporting. Here's Lopata-White. Here's Vincent. McDonald stepping up. As is Howson. Now the two of them might even get a 1-2 going. Here's Chadwick. He'll know Howson's behind him. He's just got to try and find the space. Sporting very sensibly went skin tight practically to Chadwick. Scott Gardner's encouraging his players to get right in the faces of Sporting. There'll be a card. Dudley perhaps got a bit too pumped up because he knew what an opportunity they had if they won it back there. Probably a cynical pull. I think is for a bit beforehand, the referee was whistling his mouth. He was getting the arm out. He was half interested in giving a couple of challenges before that. So Dudley grabbing the shirt was just the icing on the cake.
Yeah, it was, but that's the balance of a defender. Moments before, Dudley's had a bit of success when still in the scenario, he's on the front foot, wins the ball high, has his shot. Yeah, it goes wide. But he's just trying to be aggressive in his defending. you just got to know as a young defender, sometimes if you can't get the ball, even though you have been aggressive initially, that's just to hold your ground, not allow the player to turn, and you don't have to try and win the ball. But it's just starting to be a bit niggly, hasn't it? And I don't think that's going to suit our players.
Love the ball from Douglas to Lienou. Now he's now released McDonald. Leeds just can't get that last pass. It's thanks to Sporting's defensive work, not Leeds' inequalities in the area. The referee is stopping something in further back play. And Leeds player down. Looks like it's Gray and he's in some discomfort. We have to hope only that it's coming together. I get the impression perhaps that there's a lot of off the ball contact, shall we say, in a nice way.
Yeah, there is. And look, when you make that step up to senior football, there's a lot more off the contact stuff that does go unnoticed to the untrained eye. And again, I just don't think our players, there's times they make the most out of certain collisions, but I just think these kind of occasions spoils the rhythm for one, yeah. But I think Sporting players kind of like that, and always found when I was coming up against, where it's like the players from Portuguese league, Spanish, Italian, German, French alike, that they thrive off these little niggly battles off the ball. They seem to want that kind of game. They're used to that. Yeah, of course, they're technically very gifted as well. So I just think for our players, be aggressive, be on the front foot, but try and let the football do the talking.
Vincent wanted a free kick. Good work from Lienou. Referee's letting it flow on both occasions there, so can't complain. Lienu's wrestling forward. Free kick comes Leeds' way. Bit of like a double sandwich, really. Lienou was the meat in the middle. And it's Reece Chadwick territory, you'd feel.
Yeah, it's probably just on the brink of the distance.
Although, as I say, that only one man has shown any interest in the ball. He's Leeds United's number 9, Harry Gray, who did score a free kick the other night, actually, in a hat-trick, albeit via a flap from a keeper's hand. But when that's happened, you find your confidence levels, and it's territory for him to have a dig. Chadwick's more than happy to hand over the responsibility. The referee's going to stop this. There's a pushing match between Chadwick and the Sporting player. Chadwick's pushed him back. Sporting player goes to ground. That man down is Afonso Lee, who is suggesting it was an elbow. Thumbs up from Chadwick. Not sure these lads are going to be friends after full time. The pushing continues. This time it's on Lopata-White. Chadwick's moved out of the way. Gray will restart his run-up. It's all got very petulant inside the penalty area. Can Leeds silence any of this now? Gray does try. Keeper has to tip it over. That was going in. That would have been the latest to the highlight reel for Harry Gray. It's the reactions of Guilherme Pires that stops it from happening.
Honestly, it's some say. Really is, because that is headed straight into the top corner. The way Harry Gray gets the ball to get up and down so quick. Such a good free kick. He must have thought he's going to find the top corner. World-class save it was.
Here's Chadwick. Good ball towards Gray. Vincent on the rebound. Pokes it home. 2 touches and in. And Vincent, right place, right time. Leeds' pressure the last few minutes tells one apiece just before the break against Sporting in the Premier League International Cup.
Done very well there, did Harvey Vincent. The ball ricocheted a little bit, but when it fell to him, the sharpness of his finish, good technique as well to keep the ball down. But you're right, just getting the ball into the box. Thought the chance might have gone. Plenty of bodies in and around the 6-yard box, but brings it down superbly in the end. Snap finish as well. Back on level terms.
Yeah, 2-2 for Vincent, who's had a really good couple of days for Leeds 21s. Still such a young man in this team. But there'll be a few of these players that, from the experiences of sometimes losing, sometimes coming out on the wrong end of results, will in a couple of years become real seasoned at this level. And they've not put too much wrong there, Leeds United, against a very good academy from one of Europe's top clubs. It's one apiece. Sporting were impressive in parts, just as much as Leeds United, who, against one of the leading clubs in Portugal, and of course Europe in competitions, it is a good test this, and Leeds will hope they can stay as competitive as possible. The way they played in the first 45, there's no doubt about it. They've got every chance of winning this match if things can be kept nice and sensible. As I say that, nearly an own goal at the back. Lopata-White sticking out a leg. They were claiming it's a back pass. Of course, very, very extravagant. Leeds go with Mahady, Dudley, Lienou, Pickles, Lopata-White, Howson, Vincent, Douglas, Gray, Chadwick and McDonald. The bench is Ombang, Brockie, Pirie, Firth, Whitehead and Render. It was Vincent with the goal in the 46th minute to level matters after Momade's effort. And Sporting go with Pires, Momade, Ciesielski, Alves, Lee, Bafdili, Grombahi, Camacho, Martin, Santos and Sanha. Myself, Tom Hill and Ben Parker bringing you the action. I think anyone associated with the 21s in the academy, Bennett, would proud be a good way to describe that first half performance.
It certainly was. We're really competitive. But that's what we've grown to know about this young group. And the goal on the stroke of half-time, perfect time to score. We know that. So hopefully we can start the second half with that confidence. But knowing we're going to have to stop Sporting play. They're going to have the moments due to the quality throughout the team. But it's poised for a great second half. A good battle between two good teams.
Free kick taken quickly. Referee suggesting the ball was rolling. Perhaps Lienou did put it down. Here's Lopata-White. Lots of steady progression from both teams from the back in the first half. Lopata-White goes across the defence to Mahady. Chadwick over the top to Gray. Just steps off early. Good opportunity that would have been. And it's very rare, Ben, did Harry Gray have the last line in his sights and have a chance to get in behind. It was all very much Sporting trying to make Leeds play in front of them.
trap, but good build-up play again. And another example, Josh McDonald, been so aggressive on the press, winning a throw.
Ball back out with Chadwick to Vincent. To the byline, little cutback, almost reaches Gray. Vincent then nips in, it's quite aggressive in the challenge. Leeds have been like that, so has Sporting. Perhaps in the first half, Ben, just maybe a couple of players would overstep the mark, just try to maybe play what the game that Sporting wanted. They're wanting to get under the skin. It's tough to do that when you're young players. It's easy for experienced pros to know when things are being tried. But if they can just channel it a little bit, they can always make it like come back on Sporting a little bit as well. As a mistake here, a big one. Chadwick picks up the ball, tries to turn to his stronger right foot. McDonald does. It might fall to Gray. It will bounce past him. Corner they'll settle for. I mean, the most simplest of free kicks. It ended up being a massive chance for Leeds.
And we've shown great examples in the first half of being aggressive with our approach. Even more so in the second period. 5 minutes played and we are on the front foot. Just setting really good traps and Sporting falling for every single one so far.
A chance. Header. Near post. Glance wide. And it was one of those where it's maybe easier to head it the other way. The glance, you'd think they'd done enough to just flick it to the corner. Even Vincent could have got close enough to it. Such an opportunity for Leeds. It's another cracking start to this second half.
Oh, it's a big chance. We know that, but for the man who was falling to, Harry Gray, you expect him to score. He expects to score it. Just didn't quite get it enough on his header, did he? He knew he had to glance it, but glanced it just a little bit too much and just drifted wide of the upright.
Yeah, just seen there's a little bit of petulance in the middle as well. The number 8 tried to chip Chadwick. Chadwick's tried to get in front. Chadwick got involved in this on Monday against Crystal Palace. We said how a passionate player he is, and his love for Leeds United is there to be seen every week when he plays for the club. He's got to try and channel it the right way. As Leeds give the ball away, it's not often they've done that. So this is a sequence of the game they've got to try and manage. Foul, according to the referee, from Vincent. That will be on Bafdili. And that's going to give Sporting the opportunity now to send bodies into the box.
Yeah, again, it's just almost a subtle warning in terms of if we are in possession and we've got time on the ball, that's the moments where you can't be turning possession over so cheaply. Yeah, of course, we know players make mistakes, give the ball away throughout the game, but you've got to limit when you do it, especially when you're not under pressure as well, because this is the consequence, attacking free kick that we're having to defend.
Lupa to the far post. Well communicated from Leeds. It's a way stat from Sporting where they were on the pitch. Vincent has set off so quickly. Mahady's pinged it as well, looking for Gray. He's just under hit it. McDonald from Chadwick round the side door to Gray. Gray gets caught. I think the ball was won though, so it's a fair challenge. Gray didn't complain. Chadwick down the line to McDonald. Leads into central option. The flag's gone up. Another frustration. Maybe a tweak to the tactics, Ben. Because again, Sporting were not allowing Leeds in these areas, but twice in a row now, offside trap has worked.
Yeah, it has. I don't think the Thurs have been playing for it, lucky in a way. Flip side, can you just hold your run ever so slightly? Be a bit more patient. Yeah, fine margins, but it's been a real entertaining game so far. Really liked just the tempo and the flow of it. Bit of needle out there as well. Proper game is this.
Yeah, that needle aspect is very apparent and has been since the early minutes. As Bafdili gets away, Lopata-White has to step up, but the challenge is a bit late, so Sporting have come away with it. Good work from Howson. One of those from Lopata-White, Ben, where maybe a fraction early can go and get it. It's the indecision. If you're not 100%, you can't make that challenge. He got something on it to slow them down, though.
Yeah, he did, eventually. Johnny Howson, his centre-half partner, coming to the rescue as well. Probably the first time in the whole game when we've just been a bit hesitant with and without the ball. And Sporting nearly took advantage of that.
Looper to the far post. Stayed in. Everyone's still up there for Sporting. Nearly found that bottom corner from Chris Grombahi. But Rory Mahady's reactions and awareness as well. He had to cure bodies in Leeds colours, Ben, that had to get past, but he read it.
Yeah, good angles. Plus a routine save in the end. But Leeds were complaining the ball did look to go out from the initial corner. But again, they've done ever so well just to find themselves further up the pitch.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of instances of that this year in modern day and the youth football, but senior pros and 21s. Daniel Ciesielski yellow carded for kicking the ball on the pitch away and then the multi-ball system away. I think the rules as well, Ben, they keep it fair enough, don't they? He knows what he's trying to do. He stops any sign of progress.
It does make me laugh though, Tom, now when obviously the players know the rules. If you do X, Y and Z, you'll pick up a yellow card, but they do that rule and then they throw the arms up in the air and be so confused as to why they're getting that yellow card when they know. So, it's all fun and games.
You can tell I've not played football because in my head I'm thinking, or to a high level, I'd boot the ball on the pitch against the multi-ball. Both of them go missing. Bit of tactics. Maybe they don't have the ability that I think I have as Leeds win a free kick.
I didn't know you too well, but I think they're trying to get some tactical yellow cards just so you have some time off over Christmas here.
Special time of year, bit of gravy. There's another issue with the referee. I think he's just trying to... First half, he started the game well, letting it flow. Then he had an instance for the last 20 minutes, he practically pulled up for every incident. He tried to let it flow at the start of the second half, but I think the Sporting players are just nibbling away at his ear, just constantly asking for free kicks, certain things going their way. He just trusts a few of them now to pretty much let him just get on with the game and enjoy it. It just shows you the difference, and maybe on the continent with players speaking to officials. Here's Chadwick, nearly slots it through to McDonald. That's a great idea from Lienou to release Vincent. Gray's gone near post, Gray's gone to ground, looks at the referee. Alves was up there with him. Was looking at the ball rather than Gray. I knew he'd made an inside run as Vincent puts a strong challenge in. Unsure if Gray got a little tug back on the shoulder. There's a high five suggesting perhaps that maybe there's a bit of respect there for the decision that he did, but again, just something different. Lienou's the first time ball bent. You know, a lot of youth football now is, on the whole, the game's played a similar way. You will occasionally get drawn against a different academy that have different ideas. And Lienou just went long for a change, but it worked because Sporting just did not expect it.
Yeah, it's taking that onus yourself on the pitch. If you see a picture, it's the right option. Definitely go for it.
Here's McDonald. Running to the byline. Cuts it back. Deflection. Keeper does very well to keep it in play. Yeah, replay of it now. And yeah, good work from the defence as well. Referee is going to let the game come to a halt because there is a change in the offing. And the change will see Harry Gray replaced. So whether that is pre-planned, very much could well be at this stage of his career. Of course, congratulations to him. He was named on the bench last time out. Jacob Render gets some early minutes. He too, like Vincent, got a goal the other night. And it just shows the development of Harry Gray that, of course, we don't know, but there's a good chance that that means he's in the running for a place on the bench in the first team, and yet here we are in a 21s game in September.
It just goes to show his form at the start of the season and the rewards that you can have as a young player. But again, it's a massive pat on the back to Scott Garner's coaching staff that, again, another young player in Render coming on. Great, like you mentioned, his goal on Monday night, full of confidence. But the coaching staff giving full trust to the young players and giving Render 30 minutes or so to make another impact on this game.
Yeah, Render just nudged away from the ball. Yeah, an opportunity as well, isn't it? Such a big chance for players that, like Gray this season, to get some regular minutes for the 21s. But if someone like him, who's a regular name on the team sheet, can't feature, there is very much a next man up sort of attitude in academy football. It's about the group and the collective. And now we're in. This young group holding their own against Sporting and continuing parts with a better team as McDonald gets across. Douglas has to be brave and quick, and he's both of those. He goes wide to Vincent. It's played a lovely ball out wide. Vincent slips. He's still quick enough to get to it. Dudley on the follow-up run to help him out, and Vincent still going on his own. The confidence is flowing through him as he swings the ball towards Render, gets a corner. Harvey Vincent just showing a little bit of magic, and again, just confidence which comes with playing minutes at a high level.
Yeah, it is, and that's where it starts from, is playing week in, week out, getting your match sharpness where you need it to be. But then his goal Monday, his goal tonight, that confidence in his game, it was a superb run.
Towards Lopata-White, desperate defending from Sporting, they just about get it. Confusing situation there because there was a Sporting touch last, but the referee has clearly seen something he wasn't happy with. Maybe a foul, but by Render. I mean, I'm struggling, Ben.
Just looked, yeah, from this angle that Lopata-White, you see what he's trying to do, that bit of
Oh, the pullback, right, okay.
So, yeah, it was a good, well-worked corner kick routine, similar to the chance that created for Harry Gray with his header. Just got to be very, very subtle in your kind of contact you do make.
Bit more of a disagreement again. Sporting throw, which they take quickly. Howson spotted the danger, nips in with a touch that at least slows them down. Here's Chadwick. There's a lack of options in front of him. Sideways is McDonald. Beautiful idea to pick out Vincent. What a pass. He's got real work to do to keep it under control. Towards Render. Headed over the top. Scintillating counter-attack from Leeds United. The vision, the teamwork, and the confidence knowing that my teammates are going to be where I need them to be. Let's play the pass no matter what.
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing is having the quality, showing it, of course, but being able to do that at full tilt, the speed of the play is really mesmerising at times. McDonald and Vincent combining on that occasion.
Good work from Chadwick. Wins it back high up the pitch. A little bit naughty to done well to just avoid a free kick there, Sporting. Leeds have stepped up aggressively, pressurising. Lienou has a glance at goal. It's worth a try when it's on his favourite left foot, curling in. Another man sat alongside me had done that. I mean, he would never have been at right back. But the closest you can to right back is coming off from left back to the bench. But as a left back, would you have hit it?
Yeah, of course. Flashes back. I once had a game right back in the FA Youth, but I still wake up in cold sweat thinking about that. Yeah, it's not a nice experience. So, if the Lienou to find himself in that position, he's always cutting back on his stronger left foot. Decent try.
Howson back to Mahady. So adjust his feet quickly. Here's Lopata-White. Good control from him. Back to Mahady. Into Lienou. Now striding out of defence is Howson. Here's Chadwick. Into Pickles. Leeds telling their players to go wide to the right. That's where Vincent is stood, and he just cushions it to Dudley. Crossing opportunity. That's where you needed the 10. Of course, Chadwick had started the first move, passing it backwards, so he wasn't in the right place. I don't think Dudley's ball is bad. It looks bad because it goes to nobody. He puts it into an area of vast space in the penalty box.
100% agree. Because the Sporting defenders, they're dropping off, which you would see 9 times out of 10 for the defenders to do, to try and fill the space where the ball might go across a 6-yard box. But that cut-back cross is on, but only, as you mentioned so rightly, if you've got a midfield runner or two to come into that space. Unfortunately, we didn't.
Sporting on the attack. Howson's got to be alert. He is. He's got to be careful as well because the man chasing him down's had a chip away at his ankles all night, and it's Diego Martins that this time can't make that challenge. Here's Pickles. Been quiet tonight on the ball because he's been able to just play the pass and let others thrive. That's what a holding midfielder's supposed to do. But he covers so much ground all over Pickles. Chadwick's overhit that. Vincent can't keep it in. But you're starting to see, Ben, just what roles these players have in the team. Yes, they've played for a good few weeks together now at 21s and last season, but they've grown up together. They know each other's game inside and out. And you can start to see those newcomers integrated. Lienou has looked a part of this group like he's been there for the last few years, and it's starting to show tonight against a real good opposition. Some of the play has been so in sync. We'll get your thoughts in a second because this is still not over, this attack. Here's Chadwick. Sorry, Douglas. To Pickles, good inside ball to Chadwick, who's chopped to the floor, takes one for the team, wins a free kick.
Yeah, it's just individuals doing their roles, doing their part, and then as a collective that helps, of course, the team. And you're right to mention Pickles because, yeah, congratulations, as you said at the top of the show about his new contract, so well deserved. But his in-game play, he just does the basics very well. You need your players like that in the middle of the park just to keep things ticking over, and he might not have a spectacular highlight reel in terms of beating 4 or 5 players and sticking them in the top corner, but just keeps the play moving ever so simple and nice.
Here is Chadwick. Lupa. Howson has a swing at it. Lupa to the far post for Douglas. There's been a lot of high balls tonight, causing problems for defences. I mean, Howson had to have a go where he was, Ben. He isn't a million miles away. If the deflection's kind, it might go in. And we see how we go from other set pieces for the rest of the match. But yeah, big opportunity.
No, it was. And it's almost like a throwback to your kind of English conditions where get the ball in the box against foreign opposition and they don't like it one bit. Just make it awkward for them, and that's how we recycle the second ball. Yeah, we do need that little bit of luck when it falling. Fell nicely to Johnny Howson, plenty of bodies in the way between him and the goal. Yeah, the deflection just pinged the ball straight out of the box, but yeah, Leeds have been a dominant team in the second half. Been putting a good performance so far.
Pickles to Dudley. Here's Vincent. Back it goes into Lopata-White with 20 left. Over the top, and it's an easy catch that for Pires. Guillermo Pires in goal. Leeds have lost the strength up front. That's no slight to Jacob Render in terms of just pure power with Gray, but each individual's got different ideas. There's an extra zip about him, of course. He's off the bench. He'll have that extra fitness. These little instances there, Ben. A free kick given away, Leeds frustrated, just switching off for a split second and try to argue. That's where Sporting are trying to catch them out, as the replacement sees Sandro Nascimento replace Mikel Sanha.
Yeah, and the concentration levels we saw on Monday evening when you did ever so well, 2-0 down, get it back level terms. But then there was a spell as we approached the 90-minute mark when it just became a bit scrappy. Breaks in play, lost concentration ever so slightly, and Crystal Palace score from a set piece. So, yeah, we've had the warning signs Monday evening, coming in the lessons tonight.
Lopata-White loops it over the top. Lopata-White clears timely as well. Mahady would have got there, but you never know if a Sporting player could have nipped in early. Just drops off a little bit, Ben, this Leeds press. Not as a worrying situation. They're just not as keen to fight fire with fire, perhaps regressing just to reserve some energy, see what Sporting are doing, because in truth, they're just knocking the ball around the park. There is very little progress. They'll be growing in confidence, but there's no real reason for Leeds to panic.
Yeah, in truth as well, it's very difficult to be pressing 100% yeah, sometimes just had to reserve that energy you spoke about, but don't give chances away.
Good tip over from Mahady, needed as well. Martins had a little glancing header at it. One that, at first glance, Ben was appearing to dip under the bar.
Yeah, just took no chances. Mahady, that's what you would see from a goalkeeper. Instead of trying to maybe catch the ball, just help it on its way, defend the corner from that.
Lopata-White's header queuing up though here, Sporting. Both players may be getting each other's way. One of them probably should have let fly first time. Still not over this though. Howson just about gets beaten to the ball, but Dudley doesn't. It'll be another set piece. Sporting just turn the screw ever so slightly here. Leeds covering both corner taker options just in case. Clearance from Lopata-White was dominant and pretty aggressive, but all it did was go straight back to a Sporting player. An early interception from Douglas. Effort goes in and it will be out for another corner ball.
Yeah, it's first time in the second half that Sporting have that bit of sustained pressure, just pinning Leeds back ever so slightly, and these are the moments when concentration levels, as we spoke about, have to be razor sharp just to see out the danger.
Here's Douglas. Lienou back to Mahady. Ciesielski. Wide to centre-back partner Alves. Leeds just going through the motions defensively, making no mistakes, no gaps. That's the main thing, I'm sure, for Scott Gardner. If they can launch a counter, trying to do so. Douglas went backwards with the first. McDonald ran into traffic. Might have been a little kick out there. He's getting carded. He tried his best to disguise it. I've seen much worse, actually.
Yeah, I've seen worse. I think there's just signs of frustration creeping into the game because 4 or 5 passes now, which for majority of the second half, majority of the game as well, have been sticking, just going a bit astray, whether that's just tired minds, tired legs, a combination of both. But it'd just be good just to get a foothold of the game again and just put a few sequences of passes together, successful ones, just to not take the sting out of the game, but just to give us a bit more of a platform.
11 minutes left. Leeds not camped in their own half, but they're certainly pretty rooted to their defensive structure. They do have another sub lined up. I'm going to add to get my tongue back in, add some extra energy to the group, because they need to find some sort of spark just to make sure it's not attack versus defence. Lienou gets there. Mahady screams in frustration where he thought he could have come and got that. Just maybe, again, it shows you a little evidence. Just doubts creeping in. There's a bit of doubt here as Render just try to get any touch on it. We can see the full pitch. His team can as well. In hindsight, if he'd have left that might have gone to Chadwick. That's not his fault, though. He just tried to desperately help Leeds United. Logan White is the youngster that's preparing to come on. But Sporting are just starting to get a bit more success, carving open more space. It's been a massive effort from this young Leeds group so far. It's been at least 10 minutes, though, of Sporting dominance on the ball. To the far post, Nascimento's delivery. The cutback is dangerous. Howson had to get some form of touch. The touch at least takes it away from Bafdili. And the referee signalled that they want to make the sub straight away, Leeds. 10 minutes left, Ben. It's a massive 10 minutes.
No, it is. Really having to dig in at the moment. And it is McDonald. Have that belief, even when you find it hard, backs out against the wall, far from that at the moment, but just got to see this period through, and then can we come out the other side and show all that character we know we have in abundance.
Two more changes being prepared by Sporting. Konstantin Nikitenko and Santo Gamboa are stripped and ready to go. Further sting being taken out of the game by the subs. Mahady just told to stop in his tracks. And the change in that heart midfield. So the number 6 is off. That is Zaid Bafdili, who's been a quality operator for them. Santo Gamboa replaces him. Diego Martins makes way. And for him, it's Konstantin Nikitenko. Don't worry. Josh McDonald and Vincent, they'd not replaced. That's McDonald making his way around the pitch at the end of the Community Stadium. So his original sub, when he was replaced by Logan White, he's just got to the bench for handshakes. It wasn't another sub in Vincent coming off. So Sporting have rolled the dice with their changes. Well, they'll hope and match winners. Lienou somehow gets it to Lopata-White. You do love the confidence of these young players, Ben. I mean, he's off balance, Jaden Lienou. He has one defender to play it to. If he gets it wrong, he's playing a centre forward in on one-on-one. Still plays it. Still does it.
Yeah, has the belief in his ability. I have to say, since he came into the club, Lienou, I think it's been superb. His performances, you summed up great in the first half. Say it looks like he's been here for a number of years and great chance.
Vincent from Chadwick's challenge delays the pass, goes himself, stings the palms of Pires. He had White alongside him, who's picked up the loose ball. Here is Lienou. I think for a second he wanted to go to Vincent. He rolls it inside into Chadwick, has a little look at goal. More than a look, keeper tips it over. No wonder Chadwick puts the hand over the mouth. I think he felt he was about to get the match winner there. I know someone else certainly did. Off the seat, Ben Parker. That is a delicious effort.
Another world-class save from the goalkeeper. Uses his big frame just to get fingertips to claw it out of that top corner. We had the perfect angle right behind it. Thought it was going to be a goal.
Glancing header away. Howson, in trying to play it to Pickles, has just given it away. There's a lot of Sporting players that wanted a quick throw in, but I don't think the defenders have got the energy at the minute. They're quite slow and lethargic. Free kick told to be taken right in the corners of the touchline. Good header from Howson. Pushing the back on Pickles. Successive game for Pickles and Douglas. Ben as holding midfielders or box to box when they've got the ball. Biggest compliment is, again, if you watch Leeds United for the first time, I don't think you know that one of them is a winger, forward or fullback. Now he's a holding mid. He's only got centre half and keeper to play, and he's completed the set.
Yeah, it goes against everything you stand for, being old school, isn't it? If you're a winger, you play as a winger. But yeah, the modern day footballer now, especially within Leeds United's academy, you have to be adaptable. It's more learning probably other people's positions and be appreciative of that. Got to catch up with Alfie Creswell only a few days ago, and we all know about the number of positions he has played and seen him play so much centre half, but now as a midfielder. And they enjoy the kind of challenge of playing in these different positions. And I think it's, yeah, again, testament to the environment that Leeds United Academy, all the staff do create for the players to try and thrive.
Lienou to Pickles. Lopata-White to Render. Good strength. Here's Vincent. Puts them on notice. Gets caught late. Oh, he's so clever, Harvey Vincent. He sticks the foot in as he knows the challenge is coming. There's a yellow card dished out as well. That was a late call. It's Santo Gamboa that's put the challenge in. But Vincent can give up on that. He knows he's lost the ball. But it's, if I get caught, there's a free kick for my team.
Yeah, it's just the desire to get there first, ahead of the defender, and you're always going to win a free kick if you get that ball first. The challenge is going to come afterwards. But really good striker play by Render. The ball was fizzed into him, plenty of bodies around him, and it looks so simple. Where he gets the touch, lays it off, but it's just a great platform for the rest of the team to build off that.
So Chadwick's now got the free kick duties with Harry Gray off the pitch. It's not a drop-off. Chadwick is the regular set-piece taker for this team. He has just got to try what is an awkward skill. That is a tall wall. Big deep breath. Steps up. It's a dinking pass towards Pickles. Lopata-White! Oh, what a goal from Leeds United! Everybody else expected the Chadwick shot. Floating pass to the far post. Cushion header. Well met by Lopata-White. And no wonder they celebrate as a group. 90th minute goal. It's 2-1.
I'm not too sure about the celebration, but I'm here for the goal. And it was something just manufactured, really. I think in terms of the players, just trying something different on the pitch. 9 times out of 10, Chadwick is going for goal from a direct free kick from that situation. But just before that, 2 or 3 of them got together. They came up with a little plan. And it worked to perfection. Lovely stood up cross towards the far post. Header into a dangerous area. And there is the big man. The big tower in centre half to put the ball into the back of the net. What a time to score yet again. First half, approaching stoppage time. Same for the second. 2-1 advantage.
Yeah, Douglas is being replaced by Devon Brockie. 3 minutes of stoppage time. You're practically going to get into 94 now because Leeds have been celebrating and making their way back to halfway since the goal. I've just lost my pen in all the excitement. Love this drama. And there's no more subs. I can't make any notes. What a time as well. Look at the character bent. Monday night, 90 odd minutes conceded to lose. In the league, it's priority for playoffs. Of course, they can't now then switch off and allow Sporting to ruin the party. You can tell by Sporting's desperation. They've upped the ante. There's an extra zip about them. There's going to be a shot coming in here from distance, and Rory Mahady delighted as it dribbles across as a daisy cutter past the post from Santos. And Rory Mahady, I don't see what the issue is. He doesn't like the ball that they've been playing with for 20 minutes. We need a new one. There's another change being made there very quickly for Sporting. Peixoto has replaced Lee. I can't write it down.
Incredible scenes here in the comms box. No pen.
Might have to ask Ben to do something. Just anything else happens, remember it for me if you don't mind.
I'll try my best, but
Only 2 minutes, surely we can do it.
yeah, but just the excitement. Again, it's been a fantastic, enthralling game. Energetic performance, and still a bit to go to see this game out, of course, but again, it's another performance these players can be proud of, whatever the outcome may be.
Santo Gamboa to Miguel Alves. Slice pass, come clearance. The desperation as Peixoto is racing to go and get the new ball for Rory Mahady, who is going to suggest that that isn't in the six. He's right, it isn't in the 6-yard box. As petulant as it looks. You want to avoid a card though if you can. Socks have to be right for a goal kick apparently. I do love if this was the other way. Ben would be rocking back and forth in frustration. Vincent will let this go. Nice and calm and collected here. This Leeds United performance. 2-1 it remains. Such a great performance to absorb that pressure. 70 minutes to about 80 odd. Chadwick's been booked. What they claim is slowing the game down. He was trying to pass it backwards, but referee's got a better view than I. Chadwick now wins a free kick, which could very well see us to full time. The extra sub might get us an extra 30 seconds. Chadwick tells everybody to calm down. You know there's a lack of a attacking plan when he moves away from the free kick. The wall's got to go back as well. They're deliberating what to do. It's a keep ball exercise. Dudley. Back it goes. No need for an extra pass because Leeds United dig in, show real heart and courage to win 2-1 in the Premier League International Cup. It was a passionate affair which has boiled over till full time. And Lopata-White getting involved. Those Sporting players certainly wore their heart on their sleeve, as did Leeds. They never surrendered. They showed what it's all about to play for this club. Having Vincent scoring a goal in the stroke of half-time. Look at those goal times. 46, 91 to go and win their first game in the competition.